How do you go from zero to over $10,000 per month wholesaling houses and real estate, and your cash or credit situation won't matter? In this video, I'm going to show you how, but as a bonus, I'm going to also show you how I build my list for cold calling and postcards. So stand by. Let's get it.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Hello guys, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. How can you go from zero to $10,000 per month wholesaling houses and your cash or credit won't matter? Now, there's no secret or magic wand that I wave to make this happen over and over again. If you watched enough of my free videos, you know I say it a lot. It all starts with generating daily leads. In reality, instead of being a wholesaler / investor, you're really a marketing agency, because your primary goal is to generate daily leads, and you will stumble into 4 and 5 figure paydays in most markets. Now, I want you to make sure you understand that this is a very simple process, but by no means is easy. If you're consistent and have the patience, you can change your financial situation forever. Now, I want to just put this into simple numbers so you can see how important it is that you can go from zero to over $10,000 per month wholesaling houses. And again, your cash or credit won't matter. Remember the number 30. The number 30 basically represents the number of people that you normally have to talk to that want to actually sell a piece of real estate, sell a house, to get one deal. Now, some people can get away with that on average around 20, maybe even 15. But I want to be very conservative and realistic on what it takes. So how do you get to that number 30? Now, the more ways that you have to generate leads, the quicker you get to that number 30 and the quicker you get to a deal. Now, you can be like I was, and this is not going to be everyone's situation. That was only 2. Now, I may be a bad example, but when I started, my very first 2 calls were actual deals. The first one blew up in my face. I got a $5,000 down payment on a lease option opportunity, but I had to end up giving it back to the lady. The second call that I received was an actual deal, and I made my first $2,500. But again, I want to be in reality here and get you to understand that that's not the norm. But you may be as fortunate as I was, but that's not the norm. So how do we get to that number 30? All right, we go back to generating leads. Now, I'm going to start with free ways because the title is this video is zero. That means you're starting with nothing but actual knowledge that you can gain right here on my YouTube channel with the over 350 plus videos that I have at the date of this video. So a lot of people will start by simply just driving for dollars. Now, if you don't know what that means, it just simply means you're getting in the car, someone driving you around, and you're just looking for properties that appear to be vacant. All right, those are the obvious properties that you'll target, and then you'll research and try to reach out to the owner by mail and or phone to see if they're interested in selling. And if they are, obviously the numbers have to be in your favor to make it a great deal. They have to be motivated to sell cheap. Now, while you're out driving for dollars, a couple other things that you can look for is obviously for sale by owner. That's someone that has an actual sign in the yard or on the property itself saying for sale by owner and a phone number. All right, those are simple to contact and just see what they're trying to sell the property for, and maybe you can negotiate it into a great deal. The other way would be also targeting properties that are for rent. You say, well, why would you do that? The largest number of individuals that'll sell properties, from my experience and others that I've dealt with around the country, those are going to be tired landlords. So you can be proactive and reach out to individuals that actually are trying to rent properties that appear to be vacant. All right, so how do you go about that? You simply give them a call and ask them about, is this property still available? Whether they say yes or no, your follow-up statement will be, well, I'm not calling about renting the property. Would you be interested in selling the property? If they say yes, you collect the necessary information to evaluate the property. If they say no, you ask them, do they have any other properties that they may be interested in selling? If they say yes, collect the information to evaluate the property. If they say no, thank them for their time and let them know if anything changes to give you a call back. Another free way of generating leads is through other wholesalers. Now, other wholesalers, in a lot of cases, they're going to advertise their properties on Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace, and Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and so on. Now, you'll say, well, how will I know that they're wholesalers? When you call them, you simply ask them, do you own the property or are you wholesaling it? And after doing this for a while, you'll just be able to recognize a wholesaler's ad. They seem to have a common theme on the way they describe the properties. Now, co-wholesaling is basically where you're becoming a joint venture partner, as some people call JV, and that's where you find a buyer for a property that they have under contract. Now, a couple of ways to go about that as far as the contract part of it. Whenever you want to go into a deal with an individual or another wholesaler, is some people will do what they call a JV agreement. I personally only like to do purchase and sales agreements. Now, you and the wholesaler can agree on a price, and whatever you make above that you keep, or you all can agree to split whatever is made on the deal, which simply means whatever he has it under contract for, and you bring a buyer to the table, you split the difference between contract A, which is what he has with the seller, and contract B, what you'll have with your buyer. So you all would just split. So just one or two ways to go about it. So that's co-wholesaling or JVing, which is another free method of generating leads. Now, similar to driving for dollars, a lot of wholesalers will only target properties that are already being advertised online for sale, either for sale by owner or listed with a real estate agent. Now, it takes a very special individual to be able to deal with these type of properties that are already being advertised, because in most cases, you're not finding a secret or anything that's special. You make it negotiate it into a great deal, and then you're going to have the right type of buyer. And what I mean by that is the first thing that most buyers are going to do is they're going to Google the address. And if that property, even if you have it under contract and you've negotiated a lower price than what's being advertised online, a lot of times that ad is still there, and that person's contact information there, whether it's the actual owner or a real estate agent, and which that gives potential cash buyers an opportunity to call them. Not that they steal your deal, but they can make your deal more complicated. So you have to have the right type of buyer, and a lot of that is just dealing with timing, trust, and buyers, because you have some buyers, they don't care, and they just want you to feed them deals even if it's already being advertised. But a lot of buyers don't like those type of deals because they don't see a value in you. So again, you just have to have the right type of buyer for those type of opportunities. But again, it's another free method of generating leads. Now, dealing with real estate agents, you do have to understand that they're going to want earnest money and they're going to want proof of funds. Now, there are ways to get around that, but that's the side of it that I don't recommend newbies to target properties that are already listed unless you know what you're doing when dealing with real estate agents. That's a video in itself, which I do have a couple of those on my YouTube channel. Just do Realtors and Flip Man. Those videos should come up. So those are some of the free ways. Now, if you want to fast forward things, then you can spend a few $100s. And what I mean from $300 to maybe $500, either using bandit signs and or a cold calling list. Now, bandit signs are the signs that you see on the street that say we buy houses, not banner signs, but bandit signs, BANDIT. Those are the signs that you see on the street, and you've probably seen them that say we buy houses. You can get about 200 signs, depending on the size and the color, for less than $300. If you use multiple colors, then it'll cost more in most cases, and depending on the size also. But they work if done correctly. It's going to be one of the most effective ways for the small amount of money that you spend than anything to generate leads if done correctly. But you'll always be using them because they will come down. But if you're doing them the right way, you get 2, 3, 4 weeks out of a good number of your batch. They normally translate into several deals, and you just keep compounding and putting more signs out. Now, cold calling is basically purchasing a list, which you can do in a lot of different ways, which I get all of my lists from Later, aka PropStream. And from there, you can skip trace the list for phone numbers. Now, who you target as far as a list, I'll give you an idea what I use. Now, okay, so at the beginning of this video, I told you I would show you how I'll build my list for cold calling and direct mail, with its postcards and our yellow letters. So I'm in Later, aka PropStream. What you want to do, you can target by city name, zip code, or county. All right, so I'm just going to use Orange County, California. All right, and you have to put it in the name of the county, the word county, comma, and then the state. All right, so it takes a while to filter out a county of that size population. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go owner occupied and say no. I don't want them living there. I like to target free and clear. Now, as you can see, you can do vacant, liens, pre-foreclosure, auctions, bank-owned, which are foreclosures, cash buyers list if you want high equity, bankruptcy, divorce, tax delinquents, flippers, failed listings. All right, so I want to do free and clear because at the end of the day, it's all about, do they have the equity there to even make it a deal anyway, and how much of it are they willing to give up? So I like to target free and clear. High equity will probably accomplish this also, but free and clear means they technically don't owe anything on it. All right, now you can do tax liens, all this other stuff, but I don't want to get into it. I'm just telling you the list that I like to build most often. All right, so free and clear. I don't care if it's vacant or not. I've done plenty of deals where someone lives there, whether it's the owner, a renter, a family member, or whatever. So I don't care if it's vacant or not. If they're motivated, they're motivated. Now, of course, when a house is vacant, they may be more likely to be motivated, but I don't care what their level of motivation, whether it's vacant or not. All right, so I'm going to leave that alone. So property characteristics, I want to do residential, which they've made a lot of changes here recently that are really more detailed. And I'm going to do single family. Now, you can do multifamily. You can just go on and on here, but we're talking about houses here. All right, so closed property characteristics, MLS. I'm going to say no, I don't want it listed on MLS. So I want it off market. Then I go to ownership information. I want to do individual. All right. That means just a regular John Blow owns the property. John Doe owns it. And I want to have owned at least 1 year or more. Now, this is a very highly populated county. So in this county, I would probably do 10 years or more. Normally, I'll do 1 in my county because we don't have the population that they do in a lot of the counties I target. But I think if I did 10 years, it's down to about 3,500. See, that's a manageable list. Now, if I go back in here in the filter and did, we'll say 5 years, now it changes to 6179. So you may want to send a mailing list that large, or you may want a call list that large. So once you have the number that you do want, then what you do is, and depending on how new your county is with Dealator, aka PropStream. So you'll probably have to start with 1,000. So what you have to do is select all and then put the number 1,000 here. And then you'll want to add to list. All right, so it's a new list unless it's an existing list that you already have. So just for the sake of this video, I would do 12. We'll just say 2019. I'm gonna put an asterisk in front of it so I can find it really quick. And then I would save the actual list. All right, once I save the list, then I would go over here back to properties and I will go into the marketing list, and there it is. Where is it? Right here. So that's 1,000. So it loaded quickly. All right, then I'll select all, and then you would just export. Now from there, it gets into understanding how to do an Excel spreadsheet, but that's just a YouTube search away. Even if you've never done it before, you download it, find it, and then depending on what service you use to skip trace, which you can actually skip trace right here. And the only thing you would do there is just select the name of the list once you go through the prompts here. And if you need assistance with that, support will be happy to assist you. So I wanted to add this as an additional bonus to this particular video. But guys, remember, just if you don't get anything out of anything that I teach you, if you're not willing to educate yourself on the process of doing this stuff, and I give it away all free, obviously I offer coaching and all that stuff, but if you can't afford that, I give it away all free here on my YouTube channel. So at the end of the day, if you don't have the patience, it may take you 3 months to go through it all. If you don't have the patience to do that, you're probably not going to succeed at this anyway, because real estate is a business that takes consistency, work at it, hard work, but more importantly, patience. So you got to have the patience to educate yourself, to give yourself the best chance to succeed. That is just that simple. Knowing what you are doing increases your chances of succeeding. I don't care what it is. If you know what you're doing, not trying to half ass it. I'm just going to say it. You're going to say, oh, it doesn't work. No, it works. You just didn't educate yourself to make it work. So again, I hope this entire video helped. Again, this is Dealator, aka PropStream. There's a 5-day free trial. Make sure you watch all the videos associated with it. I'm going to do a more recent updated video because some things have changed here recently. But it's an unbelievable tool. Outside of my transportation and my actual smartphones, this is the most important tool to me. Dealator, aka PropStream. Thanks. With all of that being said, we went from free methods to a couple of paid methods. The way you can get to that number 30 to produce one deal is to have multiple methods of generating leads. If you had all 5 of these working at once, driving for dollars, co-wholesaling, targeting properties online for sale by owners and or listed properties with realtors, bandit signs, and cold calling, each one of those methods could produce 30 leads each per month. Now you're doing anywhere from 5 to maybe 7 deals per month. So there's no magic wand. It all boils down to generating leads and marketing your butt off. So I hope this video helps. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notifications so you are alerted whenever I go live on YouTube and when I upload new videos just like this one. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok now at Ask Flipman. Thanks, and I will see you on the flip side.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.